Did he kick you out? Sorry, buddy. Poor guy. What's up, everybody? Just gonna do a little draw on a Mythica tonight. My boys are getting settled into their spots. So I'm gonna be trying to play some music this time. We'll see what happens. I'm trying a mix up of music to see if it is avoided by the Zuckerberg. But yeah, let me get this screen sharing going. See where I can find this live stream. I also want to throw the link to the Kickstarter into the comment section. So let me drop that in there real quick. Control B, enter. Let's see. I want to go to the comment section. I also want to throw this over to YouTube as well. Shout out to YouTube. All right, let's see. Just getting things set up here. We're going to do some drawing tonight. It's Mythica Monday. Got to do some drawing on Mythica Monday. That's what it's all about. Got Sam over here getting into his position, chilling. There we go. Trying to get where I can kind of see everything. All right. I don't want that. Sure. Mute that. There we go. All right, now last thing is sharing my screen. I think I'm going to go ahead and put this on this picture-in-picture mode. I kind of like that mode. All right. Bump, 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 bump. All right, welcome. Just getting set up here. Going to do some Mythica drawing. Working on a rough draft here digitally. And just kind of getting warmed up. I just got home from school and finished eating some dinner, so I'm really just kind of warming up right now. So I'll use this underdrawing to kind of just practice my circles and straight lines a little bit. Just kind of get in the groove before I actually start sketching. So what I want to know from anybody that's watching is what you can hear. If there's some music playing, can you hear that? Drop in, say hi. I'd love to hear what you got to say. We post Instagram using Meta Business. I have no idea what they're saying right there. However, I do want to share this. Oops, forgot to put the link in there. All right. Just wanted to do a little warm up with that. Welcome everyone. Just doing some drawing today. Going to be working on this comic book page and doing a kind of a rough draft / pencil page right now. And I generally go right from this into inks, so I don't get super tight with this, but just enough that I don't have to guess at anything. And so I'd love to hear your feedback. Hello, Casey. Nice to see you. Casey, can you hear that background music? Does it sound like music or does it sound like warbly nothingness? It's the first time I've ever tried this. So just wanted to see what we're getting here. First time I've ever tried this. I don't want that feedback. All right, let's get back to work here. So yeah, I generally do like a rough draft / thumbnail, something that's kind of in between the two, and then I do a kind of a rough pencil, and then I go straight to ink. I just don't see a reason when you're working digitally to do a super tight pencil pass and then basically just be copying it exactly to do an ink pass. Just seems like redundancy to me. So, okay, Chris says warbling nothingness. Thank you, Chris. Since you went a big screen on your art, I don't hear it as much. Okay. So let me see what happens if I turn it up a little bit. So that just sounds like a. So I'm trying a cheat that someone taught me that if you listen to, and Chris, you might be familiar with this. If you listen to mixes like DJ mixes where none of the music stays around long enough to be picked up by the algorithms, then you can sometimes get away with having the music playing. We'll see. Question is how loud to make it. Is it distracting? That kind of thing. I don't really know that. You don't actually hear it now. Can you hear me though? As long as you can hear me, that's obviously more important. But that's interesting. I turned it up even. That's all right. I wonder. No, I don't know. You can hear me fine. That's good. That's good. That's awesome. So yeah, as you guys know, the Kickstarter campaign is in full effect right now. So I know both of you are very supportive. Thank you so much. Do you guys have any questions about what's coming up for Mythica, or how I do this stuff, or how you can do some of this stuff? Please just let me know. All right. Yes, I'm listening to some thing on YouTube called Metal Step. So it's like a a DJ mix of heavy metal tunes. It's kind of cool, but I'm just waiting to see if it gets turned off by Facebook. Hi, Christina. Welcome to the party. Doing a little comic book making tonight, working on Mythica. This character that I'm drawing right now is something I threw in at the last minute just for fun. This is actually a dwarf vampire. And I just was trying to make the vampires kind of have some different looks. And I thought, well, what if I make one, dwarf? And I don't even think I've ever seen that, so that'll be fun. I know, Casey. That's exactly why I'm testing this out to see. My buddy Martin Zavala, who does a lot of online airbrushing, he has music playing all the time, but it's always this like mixed music, and that's how he says that he gets away with it. So we'll see. We'll see. The worst thing that'll happen while I'm live stream is that they'll either shut it down or they'll shut off the audio. And either way, I think I'll know pretty quick. So if it doesn't work, I just won't try it. I'll have to use, headphones. I just thought that, like, if I could figure out a way to have, kind of looks like your ex-husband. That's funny. I was thinking that, if there was some music playing, it might be more interesting for people to kind of casually have on and in the background, even if they're not fully paying attention. So I was trying to figure out ways to do that, but I've been told the best place for me to do that is Twitch, but I have not really been over there much, so I need to learn more about it and turn these guides off. So these guides right here, in case you guys didn't know, most of you do if you've had my classes, this first one right here is where the paper will be trimmed at for the comic. And this one right here is the safe zone. You want to make sure to have everything important inside that. So you can go outside of it, but you don't want words or faces or anything like that to go outside of it. Trying to figure out music on Jeff's Twitch channel. Yeah. I think that from what I hear, the rules on Twitch are a lot more lenient, but I imagine sooner or later, anybody with music will catch up to that too and say, hey, you can't play that there anymore either. So I'm really amazed and loving how well the Kickstarter's been going so far. We've hit goal. If you guys didn't know that already, we hit the primary goal, which means we can definitely get the book printed. The money that we're trying to raise right now is so that I can hire some other artists to be working on this book and help kind of get it going a little bit faster, so I'm not working on everything myself. So that's why we're continuing to push for further funds, and the more that we raise, the more bigger names I can invite to be guest artists on like the covers. I've got some pretty big names planned. Mike Chrome is one of the artists we're talking to. Very great artist. And then we've also got Robert Adkins, who does a lot of work for G.I. Joe now. Very well-known artist. You get these really thick, bold outlines. They help make the character stand out a bit more. Be right back. Okay. I was going to suggest Switch, but I'm still running it. Yeah. Say move the head a tad bit to the left and you're golden. Golden for what? I'm okay to have this running off. I want it to run off a little bit so it feels like it's like more dimensional and not kind of stuck inside of a box, kind of running off the page, as it were. So the main thing you're looking for is that the main focus of the face is not like somewhere over here where it might get cut off. How'd you like that face? That was awesome. It's like a retarded penguin or something. I don't know what that was. I'm gonna get in trouble for not being politically correct. So I love that you can just sketch like this now, and I can just freely work digitally without any restrictions, and just feel comfortable to do what I need to do. Welcome everybody that's watching. Doing a little Mythica sketching. It is Monday, so we try to always work on Mythica Monday. Working on a page of Mythica right now. And this is the pencils / rough draft. So I'm not going into like super detail, just enough that I can kind of work with it when I get to the inking stage. So I'm kind of being tightly loose, if that's a term. I don't know. It's just my way, man. It's my style. It's what I do. What do you use? iPad, iPencil? Actually, I am on my home computer. I'll blow my screen up real quick and you can see me drawing. Let me go to full screen. So this is my screen right here. This is a Wacom Cintiq screen. It's expensive. It's like a $2,000 screen. And then I'm using Photoshop on my computer. And the reason for that is just the processing power. I can add tons of layers. I can, move this thing around. I can draw really fast. However, when I do go out on the run and want to draw somewhere, I do also have an iPad, and I will draw on the iPad. But this one works better for me at home because I can sit in my comfy chair. I can pull up references. I have 2 more monitors right here. So if I need references or I need the script up, stuff like that, I have all that stuff at my disposal. So I'll switch back to this view. I am left-handed. That's what makes me great and awesome. All the greats are left-handed, and So now just adding a little bit of some lighting to get a little volume to it. All right, I don't want to go too crazy with this. Just enough to know that later I'm going to fill that in. He looks sufficiently angry, but might be able to go more extreme with that. I might have to revisit that. We'll see. So this guy right here, he's just a placeholder. He's kind of loose. That's a little too loose. I'm going to go back over and re-sketch him. I do like it. So this is how I'm going to do that. I'm going to take this. I'm going to cut it out of this layer. Chunk. I'm going to paste it back in. Chunk. And I put it back into place a little bit. Put it below there and turn it way down. Turn my pencils off for a sec. Turn that down and come back here, and now I have that nice underdrawing layer to work with. So I can go back to focusing on the drawing. Let's make us a vampire. This guy is a vampire that wears glasses. Again, just trying to make some things that were different, I don't know that he needs the glasses. It's just more of a fashion statement, I guess. He's trying to blend in, look normal. Look at his eyebrows kind of showing up through there. I make sound effects sometimes when I draw. Gotta have fun with it, right? All right, this guy is. There we go. Getting there. Fleshing it out real quick. Sunglasses, yep. So this story takes place in 1914, and so I'm constantly doing research on what is and isn't available at the time, because I want to try and stay historically accurate. There's some times where I get have to just deviate away from it, but for the most part, trying to. And spectacles were definitely a thing, mostly just the round lenses like this. Nothing as fancy as we have now, but giving him some of these big old elf ears because I think they look a little bit more vampiric than regular ears anyway. And he's got his hair. I'm gonna get some of his hair like flopping over here. But I know just what it feels like to have a voice in the back of my head, like a bitch that I hold inside. Instead of wasting I close my eyes. So what are you guys up to this evening? What's everyone else doing while you're watching me draw? Shading this left side a little bit more. Shade. There we go. All right. Thank you for the likes. Thank you so much. Now, sometimes I kind of forget what these guys are wearing, so I'll just go back and look at my previous pages. Jeff got a new streaming camera. Oh, fancy. You know, I've been using the same Logitech camera for quite a while. It's just your typical on top of the monitor camera. I don't know. There's some fancy stuff out there, but mostly I want people to see my art, so that's all that's really important to me. So there's some Inktober stuff, and you guys are gonna get to see some other line art because I'm about to bust it out for. I'm referencing my own artwork because I don't remember what everyone was wearing. There we go. That'll work. That's pretty much all I need right there. That little shot. Is this one bigger? That's the same size. I'll just go with that one. So this is a shot from a previous page, but this has all the characters, so I can kind of bust them all out at one time. And I'm just going to take this and Shrink it down. Move this guy over here. There we go. That's how you solve that problem. I got to tell you guys, if you ever are making comics or interested in making comics, one of the most difficult things is just keeping consistency, because you're drawing these scenes and panels and characters over and over and over again. So it's really easy to forget, oh, I put the sword on the left side last time, and, all kinds of stuff like that. It's very hard to keep up with. His new camera is a Sony Alpha. He needs it since we build Lego on his channel. He needs it. Why does he need to have the Sony Alpha? He's got to have that one. You got to know. So this guy's shoulder's looking a little bit narrow. I'm actually going to lasso this and move it over, because that's what the rough draft is for. There we go. Let's see how I just magically did that. Whoa, it's magic. My lady's messaging me. Sam's gonna have a hairball. Yeah. How you doing, buddy? Sleeping? He's like, don't bother me. I'm sleeping. All right, let's get some of these hands in here. So I got the wrist, and 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. Kind of just go in there when I'm making a hand and just kind of, start with those knuckle pieces, and then I want to really accentuate these fingers to be like bony and more deftly. So they kind of go in and out a little bit more than a normal one would. Sit a wall of your characters, pep your monitor all the time. I tell my students to do that, because for that exact reason. I actually don't need to do that when I'm drawing the main characters like Magnus and Riley and stuff, because I've drawn them so many times. But these characters, some of these characters were only introduced in this actual issue, so they're still fairly new to me. But yeah, it's a good idea to have a character sheet for any character that's going to be doing that. I don't like the way those hands are drawing, so we're gonna adjust them. Look at all those brushes. I have lots of brushes. Hands are something that sometimes I get right away, and then other times I'm like, nope, that looks like dog shit. Let's try that again. There we go. That's looking better. Now I put the thumb coming out over here, and there we go. Now it looks more natural. Do you ever see Mythica coming to an end, or do you plan on continuing it until the day you die? I mean, for a long time. That's a great question. I'm glad you asked that. I actually was just asked that on the Constructing Comics podcast that I was on. And the answer to that question is I have a story to tell that I imagined it being a trilogy of movies. And so it's a lot more issues than what we've got. So you're talking somewhere in the neighborhood of like 32 to 40 or so issues at least. But I don't really want to spend, the rest of my life working on that alone. So my goal is to do what Todd McFarlane did and get it going and until it has a nice following and I can afford to hire some other artists and kind of edit it and just oversee it until I find someone that's really doing well and I can kind of trust what they're doing, and then I'll just kind of do covers and story and work on some other things while that is cultivating. That's the goal, but and we're getting there slowly but surely. That's part of what the extra Kickstarter funds go towards is when I set a goal on Kickstarter, it's essentially just to be able to print the books and that what you see available on the reward list, all the things that we see there, the stickers and the bookmarks and stuff. That first goal just basically covers that. There's no money for covering other artists. Hell, there's not even enough money to pay me. I don't get paid to make these pages. So that's just the starting point. But now we know we can at least make the book. So the rest of the funds are going towards trying to get other artists hired. So last time we were able to get Alex Sinclair to work on the color covers. We also I was also able to get Robert Nugent working on the interior covers now, interior pages. So he's doing the interior colors. So that's one more thing I don't have to do. And then, eventually, like I said, we'll get to the point that I can maybe afford to start grooming another artist. But I do feel like that's going to, take some trial and error. And then, they may not want to stick on the book forever. So you might have to do it, a couple times and switch, that kind of stuff. So this guy's wearing suspenders, another classic old school kind of addition here. So we put two big old circles there and then sort of this A-frame, and then I'm going to have this sort of kind of drape and bend down since he's bending over. It's not tight. Is that music still completely just warbly mess, or do you actually hear anything at all? Or I did turn it up a little bit. You don't want it to be distracting. Well, now I just completely switching to a new song. So as you can see, I'm kind of being tight, but kind of not. I just need enough there that I can jump on the inks and do this stuff over here. I like to have. I can't understand it, but I hear it. Okay, cool. So we might be able to go a little higher with it. But yeah, I like to, when I'm doing my inks, I've never been a really big fan of some of the comic book styles where the inker is basically just following every single exact line of the penciler. Since I'm inking my own stuff, I like to be organic, and like over here in the sample, you can see these hairlines where I'm just inking those as I go and just kind of making it up. And I like to have a little bit more organic free flow with my inks rather than everything being exactly lined out. The main thing is, do I have the anatomy right and the proportions and some kind of guidance about the shadows, So yeah, I'm putting a little bit of shadowing under here. And we'll pull this towards the light. Another This is kind of cool. There's like a remix of Metallica going on right now. Never thought I'd hear that. Just crunch this out a little bit. Folds, man. They're everywhere. Can't get away from them. All right, that's looking better. Much better than it was the first time. I can get rid of that first layer completely now. Don't need that. And go ahead and turn my original rough draft back on. That's looking good. So yeah, you said this earlier, but I missed it, so I'm gonna scroll up. You said you were laying on a heating pad, acting up. I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, you wanted to know how classes are going? I have an interesting thing to share about my classes. Something very interesting happened today. So I suddenly find myself taking over a class for another instructor who apparently is no longer with us. Probably shouldn't announce who, since, you know, but it's a little nerve-wracking to be thrown into teaching another class all of a sudden, not knowing like what they're doing. I can tell you it's the intro to multimedia class, so it's one of those classes that kind of covers a lot of different programs, from Photoshop to Illustrator to GarageBand, Premiere, After Effects, and I don't know how to use GarageBand. I'm not a GarageBand user. So it's going to be a little bit of a learning curve, but I start tomorrow, so don't have a lot of time to figure it out. So this guy's shadow is going to cast down on his shoulder a little bit. There we go. Things just start to come alive when you start adding some shadow into it. I never did that assignment. So you did take that class, though. I was kind of amazed at how much stuff they are throwing at a first semester class. Like, this intro to, multimedia. So we're going to give you like, all these different assignments, and pretty much a lot of it is figuring it out on your own because they're just in these videos. And I was like, there doesn't seem like there's a lot of guidance to this class. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, thank you. I just some shadows and form, and making sure to get that right balance there. So, and again, these shadows, I would be doing these a much more cleaner when I do the inks. I'm just sort of putting indications there, but all right. So these are vampires having an argument. He says, I was so mad. I had more work in that class than most of my others. It wasn't my favorite. Yeah, I was really nervous about taking it because there's so many things, and like when it comes to web, I'm not a huge person of web design, like coding or anything like that. And Peter told me, he's like, well, what do you use? And I said, my website's made from Squarespace. It's just go build it. I built my whole website in one day, and like I built my store in an afternoon, and it could be better, but it's functioning. And he's like, well, you can show him how to use that then instead. And I was like, really? Okay, that I can do. So yeah, I think the thing that I was most shocked from though is that like just how little instruction they get for some of these things, because it's just like, there's an assignment that I saw in there where thanks, Kevin. This is just a rough draft for an upcoming page, so sort of rough draft pencils. So I'm not being super tight with it. I'm just sort of getting the main parts down. I'll do the inking later. This is an example of an inked page over here. But what I was saying, Casey, about that class is there's an assignment where they have to make like a comic strip, like a 4-panel, Sunday paper comic strip, and then put it into Illustrator and make it an Illustrator clean file, and then like color it. And if you took the class, you probably know. And so far from the digging I've looked at, like the actual instruction of what to do doesn't start until you get to the like how to upload it and turn it into an Illustrator file. So they skip over all the part about like, well, how do you write a story for a cartoon? How do you sketch it, pencil it, thumbnail it, ink it, any of that stuff? They just glaze over all of that and like do that first and then throw an Illustrator. I'm like, man, that's asking a lot. So I was kind of surprised by that. But I don't know. Was that your experience? So to everyone else, I teach at a school. I teach comic book art. I teach graphic design, and now I'm teaching another class. That's what we're talking about. But one of the things I talk about with my students too is that when you're working with stuff that is, especially that's black and white, you want to try to think about alternating, black and white, so you get nice, strong, good reads. So up here, his shirt is light, and so down here, I'm going to make his pants darker so that they have a nice, strong contrast. Need the other strap here. See, this is the continuity stuff I'm talking about. You can't forget that stuff. So it's going to come down. Let's see. I think this one, I don't like the way that's just sitting in the middle of his shirt there. That doesn't look right. So we're going to fix all that. And I think what I'm going to do is have this sort of relaxed down here a little bit. We'll kind of erase our way into that. And then bring it up. There we go. There we go. That strap's down, just kind of hanging out, bending down with the crease there a little bit. Let's see. I was in Chris's web class at the same time. Oh my gosh. I was taking an intro class. I just used that comic from the other class. Nice. So overwhelmed. I can imagine That is a lot of work. Nothing from that class taught me anything, honestly. So you know what else? I knew what you meant. You know what else I learned too is that like um, as I was looking through all of the assignments in this class, some of it was new to me because like I've forgotten a lot of Illustrator. I definitely don't know GarageBand at all, and so to me, I'm approaching it in the same way that a new student would be approaching it, right? So I'm looking at it through those same eyes, and I think that sometimes teachers forget that you know some students come in here knowing absolutely nothing at all. So uh, that's the perspective I'm looking at it from right now, and I'm like, this seems really overwhelming for me, and I'm a teacher, so it must be overwhelming for some of these students unless they already know it. So yeah, I'm gonna take some time to get to know it first, but then I'm probably gonna be making some changes. So all right, back here we got this guy, the long-haired dude. Long-haired dude is named Vadik, Vadik, Vadik the vampire. They all have names, so I can keep them straight in the script, even if I don't actually ever say their names. It's horrible typing on my phone. You're doing a great job, actually. I gotta be honest. I voice to text more often on my phone than I actually type because I fat finger everything when I try to type on my phone. What are you doing, Sam? I'm trying to get comfortable. Good boy. What we got here? A couple people still. Right on. Thanks for joining me, guys. Just having fun. Sometimes I feel like if I have somebody watching, even if they're not really watching, I just think they are. That it kind of keeps me motivated to keep moving, keep drawing. So I appreciate you guys. So I don't want to draw this guy too precisely, too perfectly. This right here on the right in the black is what he looked like at the beginning of the scene, but right before we see him in this panel, he just got his face smashed in by a rock that magnets through. So he's in the process of trying to grow back some teeth and fix his broken nose. So he's not too happy. I fat finger everything too. Yeah, the talk to text definitely being my friend. Music just stopped all by itself. Video paused. Yes. You need to be careful though, because it might. I'm on YouTube, so it might jump over to something that's copywritten, and then all of a sudden everything shuts down. Don't want that. I don't see like a repeat or loop button on YouTube. Hey, Chris, thanks for stepping by. I appreciate it. These pages are some of the best I've done. I'm really excited about them. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks, Kevin. Yeah, Kevin, I like to draw some of the details in freehand when I'm inking. So I don't go super tight with my pencils for that reason. I like to have a little bit of freedom to move around and just kind of ink. Because some of my like biggest inspirations, like Frazetta and stuff, those guys are just like literally just start drawing with their ink pen without having any pencils. So that's kind of what I'm going for. For some reason, this guy I'm drawing right now kind of looks like a Scooby-Doo villain. I don't know if you guys feeling that vibe, but it was like one of those monsters from the Scooby-Doo world. I love it. Yes, it just did that, Casey. That's why it shut off. I was like, are you still listening? I guess it knew I wasn't actually on the site. Works well on your pages, John. Yeah, thank you, man. I can't wait to see, for everybody to see some of these pages. Some of the best work I've done. I got to show you guys the last page I did, because each one I feel like I'm just pumping more detail into. And so if you're still watching, looks like Kevin and Casey, you guys are in for a little treat here. This is the inked pages for the last page that I did. So here's the small version. We'll blow that up a little bit bigger. So this is the final inks for the last page. And you know, like I said, a lot of this stuff I just freehand during the inking stage, and I do all the pleating and stuff there. But like the inks and the hatching, if I drew all that first with the pencils, I feel like it would lose its energy trying to go back over it with the exact same line. So a lot of the stuff here I don't do until the very end. But yeah, this is a fun one. So this one will end up looking that way eventually. Thanks, Kevin. Yeah, this book gets brutal sometimes. I mean, I figure when you got a big Scottish warrior and monsters, it should definitely get brutal, right? Don't like the way that arm's looking. It just kind of looks flat. So I'm going to get a little bit more three-dimensional with this. Sometimes I'll do hands like this where I just kind of start off with this claw form, and then I'll go back and detail it. But sometimes it's easier for me to find that shape just doing it like that. Oh, that's why my brush is awfully big. There we go. That's a little bit cleaner. There we go. Looks a little bit. It's all right. It's not the greatest, but I might fix it up later in the inking stage. I accidentally backed out. That happens too. All right, so now we're gonna get his legs down here. Get a little bit of muscle tone in there. I Sam. You guys gotta see this. You see this? My buddy. Beautiful boy. He's a happy boy. Yep. It's taken a while for them to understand that I like kind of just come to a mutual agreement, I guess, because they want my attention and I'm sitting here working. So I had to get their beds right next to mine so that otherwise they were just constantly trying to get me to get up and, they want to spend time with me and I have to spend time here. So we had to come to a mutual agreement. And this is what it came out to be, is a bed right next to my drawing table. So yeah, right now I'm just kind of quickly blocking in some of the dark areas that I know I'm going to want. Obviously the hair. Since this guy's kind of off to the side, up in the background character, I'm not going to be as concerned about his detail as I'm going to be about these two front characters. So. Get some shadow going under here. So some of this is about separation. So I'm putting shadow underneath this armpit mostly just to separate the arm and make it read more clearly, more than anything. So make sure that these parts of the arm are bright and then this part of the arm is dark. You get a nice solid read. He's a little loose, but like I said, when you back out, not too bad. I think this leg might be a little wide, but it's all right. I go to YouTube and look for dark synthwave or live music. Usually works too. That's exactly what I'm doing. All right, one more character back here. That's this guy that's poking his head up from behind the wall. He's going to be kind of probably just a silhouette. So I just want to make sure he has a nice, strong, easy to read form. And then I'm just going to probably shade him in completely. So I'm going to have him looking off this way a little bit. Pointy ears. Bowler hat. Shadows under the eyes, shadows under the hat. Already beginning the shadows there. Do, 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 do. So a lot of times I would do like a really loose sketch and then I kind of go back over and clean it up. Just depends on what I'm feeling. I'm not doing any reference for these characters right now, and sometimes I'll spend a lot more time like getting the reference I want. But today I'm not feeling the reference. I'm just going with it. I noticed a lot of people have their cats' beds next to their workstation. They work at home. Yeah, it makes them happy. It makes them feel like he's part of it. Although the problem that I have is that I've got one bed over here to my left and another one over there to the right. And Sam is a bully because he's a big fat ass. And so he'll get tired of sitting over here and he crawls over the other side and just starts sitting on top of Dean and dominating him until Dean gets tired of fighting and comes back over here to this side. So they're constantly trafficking across my keyboard and across my work area. Mostly because this guy decides he wants to be the other spot. Because he's kind of an asshole. This guy actually carries like a cane. So right here, the other reason I'm being really loose with this one is that I know I'm going to probably put this in almost all silhouette. So I'm mostly just making sure that the outside edges are creating nice, strong, readable forms. And then I'm just going to fill it in. So all that sketchiness didn't need to matter. And there he goes, moving over to the other side. Give it a few minutes and you'll probably see Dean coming back this direction. So yeah, in case you guys didn't figure that out, my cats are named Sam and Dean. I'm sure you can figure out where that's from. Even if you don't watch the show, everybody knows what that's from. Sam, you're kind of right in the way, but you're going to step on my keyboard. I'm going to hit save right now before he steps on my keyboard. Dude, not there. Go. Why do you choose right now to do these things, buddy? So to get a little bit of visual interest, I might leave his eyes white so that we can see some kind of the vampiric feeling of his face, since he's going to be mostly in shadow. He's wearing a coat. He's a very dapper looking vampire. He's got his coat, his cane. It is the 1900s after all. This guy's name is Rutherford. Rutherford the vampire. I know, right? Save frequently. Every semester, I have kids like, oh, I lost my files. I know what it feels like. After you lose a few big files a few times, you start learning real quick. Just start saving. You can actually program most programs to auto save for it every couple minutes. I don't normally do that, but I'm kind of amazed. I've had these boys for. My girlfriend tries to remind me how lucky I have it because her cats, if there's anything that is not bolted down in her place. Her Bengal, she has a Bengal. He will destroy it and yank it off the wall or knock it over or make it crash or something. Whereas you can see, like, I have a lot of bookshelves and stuff on the bookshelves, and they like tiptoe around things most of the time. So I can't complain too much. They're pretty awesome cats. Let's see, this cane is going to go farther. So there we go. That looks better. All right, so we got those guys here. We got room for word balloons. Let's see. It's looking a little in need of something. This guy's looking kind of pudgy over here. I'm gonna fix that up a little bit. And then I think maybe some background elements. We'll just put some kind of a bottom of a building over here. Some grass, random shit on the ground. Start with. And then let's see. So this is again thinking about darks and lights. So this guy's in silhouette, so I want to make sure that like I don't try to put something in silhouette behind him, but this guy's not. So what I can do here is put a building break like right here, and so this is bricks or buildings or something like that. Maybe I've got brick building back here. Maybe I got a window here even. Right? And then this area right here, I can come through here and say this is between the buildings and shade this in so that I now create higher contrast around this dude and get more attention around him. So just another little secret there, little trick to get some more visual interest going. So I'll kind of flesh out this window a little bit more. Yeah, actually the walks that she used to go on. So her main first big cat, Chester, is the Bengal, and he has this giant wheel that he runs on, it's like a hamster wheel, but it's like 5 feet tall, really big thing, and he runs on that thing every single day. So he's getting lots of exercise, burning off lots of energy. Gets very grumpy if he doesn't, can't get on it. But that's what he's been on for the most part throughout this pandemic. There wasn't as much going outside, and so he's tried taking him outside not too long ago, and he wasn't doing as well as he used to because it's been so long since we got him outside. But we used to take him to the cemetery and all kinds of stuff. It doesn't help that the other cat she got, Dory, doesn't like going outside at all. Poor thing, just gets terrified. I gotta share a story. So one of the earlier times that we tried taking her out, we took them both out, and it was me carrying the Dory, the new one, the little girl, and she was only like 6-7 months old. They're still pretty big for a cat. And then Chester was full grown, and he'd been out many times, and that's the one that Julie was carrying. So I'm carrying her, and they have leashes too. So even if they jump out of my hands, like we have them on a leash. But we get outside the front doors of her building, and I feel this weird thing in my hand. I look down, and I've got like a butt nugget in my hand, the size of my thumb, that she pushed out out of fear right into my palm of my hand. I was like, what the? But yeah, she was scared to death to be outside. So we didn't end up doing a lot of the outside stuff. I'm going to put another line here to kind of depict the sidewalk of some kind. Just putting in some detail. I'm not going to detail every brick because I know I'm going to do a lot of this during the inking stage, so I don't want to go crazy with it. Just a few indications to let me know where I'm going with it later. Yeah, just getting some food. All right, I think that works for now. Lots of room for dialogue up top. It's not my best panel, but it's all right. That's one thing I've learned about making comics, man. They can't all be like the most amazing thing. Sometimes they just got to be done and get it done with. Yep, right in my hand. It was I kind of felt bad for her, but at the same time it was like, oh, that's kind of gross. But I still get shit about that one from my girlfriend. That was her. She's like, you've bonded with her. So now I'm drawing a dog. There are more animals in this issue of my comic than I think all of my previous comics combined, which I'm loving. It's just fun to draw all these different types of animals. So this is Magnus's wolfhound, Augie. Augie the doggy is what I named him. Pretty not the most intimidating name for sure. I could have named him, like Zeus or some, super intense name, but I wanted to just keep it simple. Thing about drawing these wolfhounds, their hair just kind of goes off in all kinds of directions. It took me a long time to try and get down the directional flow of the hair. Yes, I have Irish Wolfhound. I have Highland cows. I have puffins. I have some Scottish rams. Lots of crows flying around ominously, alluding to something terrible happening. There's also, speaking of cats, Trogdor, my girlfriend's cat with the curly ears, she's a Highland lynx, and so she's in the book as well. So there's cats, dogs, cows. I think there's some chickens. A little bit of everything. Makes it feel more authentic, right? This dog looks like he is really intensely barking. Yes, she is so adorable, and she's so loving and just gentle and likes to cuddle. So quite the opposite of Chester, who you can barely pet sometimes because he just runs away. He's so high energy. Get some of these straggling hairs going. In this scene here, he's barking. He's trying to get Magnus's attention to let him know bad things are coming. Dad, watch out. So yeah, as you can see, like I've kind of gotten a little bit better at getting the flow of the hair down in the direction you're going. I'm still not referencing anything yet. So far, this is still all right out of my head and practice and reference. So he looks severely angry right here. Dad, 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 Dad! Bad guys are coming. So this is another little trick I love about Photoshop. You can do this in almost any digital illustration program, Procreate. Do some Procreate sometimes, but so just kind of get in the dark part right here and kind of just shade this in. Just really get all the dark areas in there. And then I come up here to the brush settings and I put it on clear. And essentially, it's like an eraser that is already set to the brush settings I'm already using. So now I can just come in here and sketch in some hairs kind of coming in that direction, which really enables me to detail some of those hairs quickly. I really like that feature. All right, what do you guys think of the dog? Last time I had someone online like look at my dog, they're like, it doesn't look like a dog. You need to work on drawing dogs. So I'm trying to work on it, make it look better. Like I said, it probably doesn't help that I didn't reference this one bit while I was sketching this. I literally am winging it. So that might be part of the reason. But, you know, it looks all right. Sometimes I will, though. It just depends on my mood. I've done several sketches of the Wolfhounds just for warm-up practices and stuff. You guys might have even seen me upload those at some point. I upload a lot of my warm-up stuff to my Patreon. My Patreon is where a lot of my patrons get to see my behind-the-scenes work, and I give a lot more tutorial stuff there, a lot more of a behind-the-scenes experience there. He does look like he's ready to eat someone. I think I want to look at him in a reverse angle, so I'm going to flip the canvas real quick and take a look at it from the other direction, which is something I highly recommend you doing if you're an artist, is look at your work in both directions, kind of see what it looks like. And you can see here, doesn't look too bad. I feel like something's a little off, but I really can't tell what at the moment. So I think I'm going to go with it. Sure, somebody will let me know later. The internet's good about that. You like to find anything that you fuck up. But either way, it's a good idea to check your work in this other angle as often as you can. Sometimes I'll switch over here and just stay working like this for quite a while. just to get your brain seeing the other side of things. So here we got Rutherford guy running off. So again, I'm just going to stick with this same brush. And I want to look at the script real fast because I don't remember what he is doing here. All right, Casey, thank you so much. Thank you for that class. It is getting late, so I'm probably going to be calling it pretty quickly myself because I want to get plenty of rest for tomorrow. I appreciate you stopping by and everyone else that stops by. Thank you so much. And I will see you guys next Monday for Mythical Monday. Have a great night.